Hey, have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When CJ and I were trying to get this podcast off the ground, I had a lot of questions. How do I record an episode? How do I get my show into all the apps that people like to listen to? How do I make money from my podcast? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use too. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. We use Anchor because we live over an hour away and it brings us together as if we're in the same room. The sound quality is better than Skype and more reliable too. So if you've always wanted to start a podcast and make money doing so, go to anchor.fm/start. That's anchor.fm/start to join us and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. We can't wait to hear your podcast.
We will not be held responsible for any hearing impairments or damage caused to you from excessive exposure to this sound.
Hey CJ, remember that one time?
Oh yeah, it was fucking epic.
You're listening to
Remember That One Time,
the Inappropriate Storytime Podcast.
and these are not your mama's fairy tales.
We're about to talk about some nasty ass shit.
Yes, apparently. So this is, of course, Remember That One Time with your hosts, Chris.
And CJ.
Now you can put faces to the names and the voices. You know when you listen to something for a long time, but you never actually see the person, especially like on the radio or whatever, and then you see them and you're like, holy shit, you don't look anything like you sound. Well, let us know on our social media if we lived up to your expectations.
Sorry to let you down.
I know, right? So see if we match your spank bank material or not. But yeah, this is us. And before we get started, we've got a couple of words from our sponsors. You can take your sponsor first.
So my sponsor is Perfectly Polished Paragraphs. This is a awesome proofreading company because you really, really need somebody to proofread your shit. If you're going to be putting written words out there, like you don't want to say cockpot when you really mean to say crockpot, because that is a huge difference. There is light years in between a crockpot and a cockpot. So, you know, if you ever need somebody to proofread your shit, make sure that you don't look like a complete fool in writing, hit them up. They have a website that is currently under construction, but you should be able to visit it soon and get all of their info on it. It is perfectlypolishedparagraphs.com. You can email them at info@perfectlypolishedparagraphs.com. They will hook you up. So check them out. They are new. It's a brand new company. It's a startup, I guess you'd call it. But hey, we're here to help them, and they are here to help us.
Fantastic. Same with my sponsor, which is Mic Drop Mobile Media. They are there to make all of your events affordable, dependable, and unforgettable, putting that soundtrack to your special day, whether it is your wedding, your birthday, your bar mitzvah, your pet goldfish's 17th birthday, which I'm not going to even lie, that's not going to happen because goldfish die within 17 days. But
Kind of do.
you know what? How about your goldfish's funeral? They can make that memorable.
Yes.
And they're not going to charge you an arm and a leg for it. And they will be there an hour or at least two before your event happens so that they can get set up and make sure everything is good to go. I know for a fact that our other host, CJ here, has used Mic Drop Mobile Media for their own wedding.
I can vouch.
For her own wedding. And yeah, great things there.
They're amazing.
Yes.
They will hook you up.
You can reach them at it's dropthatmic@gmail.com. And also on Facebook, just search Mic Drop Mobile Media. And we can get started. Pretty much, yeah, I guess we're just going to jump into this because there's no other way to. It's just like starting a session of sexy time. You just kind of jump in and let the stuff match together.
Dive on in. So if you follow us on Facebook, you'll notice that a couple of times I did reach out to our followers and I asked them to share some of their nasty ass rank stories. Didn't really get a whole lot of feedback in the comment section because I did mention, like, some of this stuff could be quite embarrassing. So I said, feel free to slide into our DMs if you're too ashamed to show your face. And I got like 0 comments, but I did get a lot of private submissions for people that are like, I have to remain anonymous. Like, I can't have this getting out.
I will be excommunicated from the church.
Yes. Y'all nasty. So we're going to have some of those stories. I wrote down some things that just tend to be pretty nasty. Like the first thing I have on my list is the waxing of lady parts.
Oh, yeah.
That's never a good thing. I don't have any stories personally. I just wanted to throw that out there because I feel like, number one, that job, like being the person that is doing the waxing. Like I get my eyebrows done at this place called the Wax Strip, and they have this sign up that says that they do brozillions.
Oh, wow.
So how would you like to be the one waxing some nasty ass dude's sweaty ball sack? Like, whatever that woman is getting paid, it ain't enough. It's just not. Like,
that's like pulling seaweed out of the Marianas Trench.
No,
thank you.
No, like Famunda cheese is a thing. Like, I know they tell you to like go clean up first, but I mean, it's a dude. I guess if he's getting completely waxed clean, like maybe he would be the type of guy to be considerate and like clean up down there first. But I'm just thinking like your typical dude is going to be like, I'm fine. I showered this week.
Yeah, I don't think the guys that are not into hygiene are also the guys that are getting waxed. I really think that it's the ones that are concerned about hygiene and the way they look and the way they smell. Like, they're the ones probably like doing a little spa day.
Hopefully they would clean up that shit first. So that was the first thing that came to mind. So we here in my house, I mean, my husband's pretty nasty. Like, we have had some major shitting episodes in our house.
I've got a good one too. Dude,
like when we moved from our old house to this house, we were so excited that now we have 2 bathrooms. Because at the old house there was just 1 bathroom, and it was like, dude, have you ever lived in a house with only 2 people and both of you get the stomach bug at the same time? Like, do you know what it's like to stand in your bathtub and just shit directly into the tub while you're simultaneously throwing up while someone else is sitting on the toilet shitting and barfing into a garbage can? Like, that's a real thing. And there's only 2 of us. Like, the people that moved into the house after us, like, if they have a kid, like, what happens when all 3 of you, like, where's that 3rd person going?
Out back.
Like, where else are they gonna fucking go? Like, there's just gonna be fucking shit and puke everywhere. So a lot of that happens in our house. And my husband has this thing. I guess he's looking out for our septic system, but he'll like wipe a bajillion times and then flush, and then he'll wipe a bunch more, but he doesn't flush the second time. And so there's like this layer of like melted toilet paper on top of the water that just floats there. And then imagine you've got the boo-boos and you sit down and your butt cheeks are flapping together like two soggy pieces of bologna, and you take this runny ass soft serve shit on top of the toilet paper that's already on the surface, and so it just all like floats there like this big giant poop buoy. Just it's that happens in our house a lot, more than I would like to admit.
Now, my husband still believes in the if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down thing, which is completely false. It does not save you any water at all. All it does is make your fucking house stink like piss.
Yeah, like what does that save you? Like, how much does it cost to flush your toilet? Like, in all honesty, like half a penny, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. Like my water bill is like $26. You can flush your fucking piss. It makes me so mad.
Smell it, especially like when they're dehydrated and it smells like chicken broth.
Chicken broth. No. Okay, so my husband has his favorite thing to do for some reason is piss in the shower. And so he's like, well,
why do they always do that?
I don't know, but his smells like hot buttered popcorn every time. I think it has to do with the fact that he drinks like 5 Dr. Peppers a day, but it's got to be something. But it does. It literally smells like hot buttered popcorn.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like, I never want to eat popcorn again after that. Like, that's disgusting.
Right. My good shit story with him in this apartment. We do have 2 bathrooms, but that didn't help us whatsoever in this situation. We were getting ready for work. We were actually just about to leave. We were already dressed. We already packed our lunch. He's giving me a kiss in the kitchen before we leave. And suddenly, like, we're kissing, and his eyes get really, really big, like super wide. And I'm like,
the boo-boos just hit him.
No, they do not discriminate. And so he was like, I thought I had to fart. And I looked down. Oh, you know what? We weren't completely dressed yet because he was just in his boxers. Because I looked down and he has shit in the kitchen floor.
Dude, like, are you fucking serious?
I am. It was so runny and so bad. It wasn't just like, oh, I shit my pants. It was I shit the floor. So like, he's like, I'm so embarrassed. I'm gonna go like put myself clothes and all in the washing machine, or not the shower. He's like, I'm gonna go take a shower with my clothes on because I'm a disgusting human being, while I am on my hands and knees cleaning up shit off my.
You didn't.
Yeah, I cleaned.
Nasty whore. You cleaned up his shit? Why don't you make him clean it up?
He was sick. He had an upset tummy. So I let him go take care of the rest of what he was doing, and I cleaned it up, and he went to work. And I was like, bro, don't trust him the rest of the day. I don't warn you.
You know, the same exact thing happened to Chris, like not even that long ago. He was in the kitchen, and he decided to rip one, and he was like, oh yeah. And I was like, you didn't, you nasty bastard.
He did.
Sure enough, he done fucked up. And you know what? Our friend Ben, same thing happened. Is it a man thing? I've never shit myself.
I was just about to say, I cannot remember the last time I shit myself, and that's because I haven't.
I think one time when I had the stomach bug, like maybe just a trickle, and I was in the bathroom, like in the process of pulling my pants down to sit on the toilet, like, and it's not like I shit my pants, like I just
not sitting in squish
yet, like, but I don't think I've ever shit my pants. But I think with Ben, and this has been so long ago, I don't even know if I'm telling the story right. I think he was working in a nursing home or something. And he got in the elevator and decided to rip one. And then he was like, oh, fuck. And then somebody else got in the elevator and they're like, I taste it.
Oh, God.
It's fucking bad. And Ben's over there like, shifting his weight back and forth, and you can hear the squish in his shoes because it's run down his leg. It's all over the back of his scrubs. So yeah, it's like a man thing, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. You male listeners, comment and let us know. Comment below let us know if right? Let us know if that's a thing that regularly happens in your pants or if it's just the degenerates that we hang out with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, speaking of stuff that happens in your pants, like that's like the male side of it. I think like the female side of it is like the period stuff.
Oh
Like,
yeah, we've got them beat.
fucking, have you ever had like one of those clots where you pull it out and it's like your whole entire fucking brain in your hands?
Oh
Like,
yeah, like I didn't know I was pregnant.
what is
Well,
this?
apparently I just had a fucking miscarriage.
Like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like the size of my fucking fist. Like, it actually hurt coming out. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like, I haven't had a period in like, I don't know, 4 years, so I haven't had to deal with it lately, but I'm just like fucking dreading when I get my stupid Mirena taken out. I'm gonna have periods again, and now this is gonna be like a way of life again. Fucking fuck. Oh, you know what? I did. This is nasty as fuck. I did get my ex-husband really, really good with a Diva cup.
Yeah, that's where my clots come from, is emptying that Diva cup, and then you get that like chunky black stuff, because it's not the blood that's absorbed into some sort of cotton where it's like this nice pink blood. It's the actual raw blood. It's awful.
And period blood is always different. It's like, it just, I don't know. It's like rust colored. It has that smell.
Yeah. Here's the thing that maybe guys don't even know about, and that nobody really ever talks about. But what about discharge? So you've got like yellow, you've got like, God forbid, brown. Yeah.
What the fuck? Whose idea was this?
Yeah, like trying to figure out, do I have this like slime trail of discharge in my panties, or did I piss myself? I don't know.
Right?
For some reason, I'm fucking slimy.
Right? And like women that are trying to get pregnant, like they'll use that as a, like, because that's a sign as to whether you're ovulating or not. But I'm like, can you imagine like just every morning going to the bathroom and like Frito scooping yourself? Like, what kind are we going to have today? And like, you know, playing with it in your fingers. Like, what do you.
Yeah. Or measuring where your cervix is.
No.
Yeah, sticking your whole hand in there and be like, oh yes, my cervix is at 3 centimeters today. This is prime. Like, no, fuck that.
Right.
The only thing touching my cervix is the head of a dick.
Right. Oh my God. But no, I got my ex-husband really good one time with the Diva cup. I can't remember what was he was doing something like repeatedly that was just fucking unacceptable. Maybe he was like he was probably doing something stupid like not flushing the toilet or trimming his beard in the sink. It's something fucking stupid that I asked him like nicely 78 times, please stop doing this. And then I asked him not nicely 78 times, fucking stop doing this or I'm gonna rip your testicles off. And then he just kept doing it. So I was like, you know what? You're gonna learn today. And so we had the double vanities in the master bathroom. And so he had like his own sink area. And so I got one of them Diva cups. I put it in, let it fester all day, pulled it out, which pulling out a Diva cup, like, there's no fucking graceful way to do that.
Oh, no, that's an Olympic sport.
Like, blood everywhere. So, like, I hooked it as good as I could with my finger and, like, kept it upright. And, like, I dumped it in his sink, but I didn't, like, rinse it out. And then I just left the cup there in the sink. And like he didn't know anything about this whole like Diva cup thing. Like he really didn't know about periods he knew periods were a thing, but like he just was not educated on them. He's like, I don't really know how that works. I just know that I stay away from it that week. And that's
Maybe
it.
There's been a murder. Something's died in our sink.
And so I left it there. And he comes home and he's like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, that's what you fucking get. You stupid cunt. If you ever do whatever it is that I was telling him not to do again, I will dump this on your face at night when you're sleeping. Sleep with one eye open. Like, for real. stop doing this. And you know what? I don't think he ever did whatever it was. He never did it fucking again. He just
Right?
did.
He gonna learn.
He gonna learn today. Here's a good one. Have you ever been like, I don't know if like Ethan likes for you to be the big spoon sometimes, but
Oh,
sometimes
yeah.
Chris likes me to be the big spoon, and then he'll like fart, and my like he's right there, like he just farts, and my body just absorbs it, like it doesn't even hit the air. It just goes straight from his
Oh,
butt
no.
into my body. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I'm sure you can get some sort of infection that way. Like, don't do that. Warn somebody. Give me some space. Like, at least turn the other way or something. Why do they do that shit?
I don't know, but ours is not, I don't want to say the opposite. Ours is a little different where we will be sleeping like butt to butt. And
Oh,
then I am the one that rips it every time because you are well aware that
yeah.
my nickname growing up was the alarm clock because as soon as like the rooster crows, it's like there's two sounds. Rooster crows, Chris like lets the biggest fart you've ever heard out every single morning like clockwork.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right
so
after you're done moaning in your sleep, you moan all night long and then
yes,
top it off with this juicy ass fart.
exactly. It's a very sensual experience. No, and my moaning isn't just like sad moaning or whatever. It's a very sexual moan.
It
And
is.
I
It's
have no idea.
for those of us that are still conscious, it is very uncomfortable. Like, I just want you to know that when you're sleeping and everyone else is awake, we're all just looking at each other like,
Yeah, everyone assumes that I'm touching myself in my
is there
sleep.
porno going on? Like,
Yeah.
all I hear is something that sounds like someone stirring a bowl full of macaroni and cheese and Chris moaning. Like,
Right. Yeah.
which the whole macaroni and cheese thing got me thinking about like all the different ways that women say that they're turned on. Like some people say they have a lady boner,
Yeah.
which like, makes me think of a giant clit. But then like I've heard people say I have a wide on. Like
I've never heard that.
like apparently I guess when you get turned on your vagina widens to accept the dick that's coming its way, I guess. So they're like, oh, I'm so turned on. I have a wide on. I'm like, that just, no. And obviously, I've heard moist in the nether regions. That one's all right. I prefer mostly something going on in my undercarriage. That's the one.
Yeah. I get lady bits tingling.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that.
My spidey senses.
Right. My drink is finally kicking in.
Are you saying that your drink is kicking in, or that's what you call you being horny?
That's really good. I should use that. But no, I actually mean like my drink. This drink is kicking in. I feel it.
Gotcha. Because I mean, you could use that with a very like unattractive Tinder date that you're not really interested in. Be like, oh yes, baby, you're doing the right stuff. My drink is good.
Dude,
Yeah.
speaking of Tinder,
Lord.
all of you listeners out there, all 10 of you, what are we up to? 10? 15?
We're actually up to 16
That's like people that listen consistently.
regularly. Yes.
Like, okay, not 16 total listens.
No, we've had over 700 total listens.
Okay. So, all right. For you listeners out there, so we decided to do, I don't know if you'd really call this an experiment. We're really just fucking trolling people. So I got on Tinder and I made a fake profile. I'm pulling it up here on my phone so I can actually read you some of the stuff that went on today because it's pure fucking gold. So let me find my book here. So
While
in
she's
order
doing that, I can let you know that I spent the last 2 days making a fucking logo because we now have gone through 3 logos and you can kind of look at them and tell where we were in our kind of the history of our podcast, because they just keep getting better every time, and the more professional and seasoned we get, the better it is getting as well. And this new logo, I'm feeling pretty fucking good about. And so
It's
let
bad.
us know. It is pretty badass. It really encompasses all that we are.
And it ties into a story that we told. We probably have told it more than once. So it meshes,
Gotcha. I'm trying to think of what story you're talking about. Is it the purple suction cup?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha.
The handle on the oven.
Yeah. Well, you'll have to go back and listen to all of our back episodes to figure that out. Haha.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what did these Tinder people end up doing today?
Okay, so in order to understand what's going on here, you need to know that Chris got me 3 years ago. Chris got me a copy of this book, which is Dirty
That's cousin
Sam.
Chris.
No, this was you. You bought it, didn't
Was
you?
it? Did
Yeah,
I?
pretty sure
Oh,
you bought
shit.
it.
I forgot about that. That was a Christmas present.
Dirty Sanchez's Guide to Buck Nasty Sex.
I remember
So,
now.
with that in mind, I got on Tinder and I made a profile. And I used some of my hot ass modeling pictures from back in the day, but I cropped the face out of it.
Yes.
And I was taking some of the right. I was taking some of the. So basically, this book is like the Kama Sutra for people that are into some nasty shit. Literally shit. Like there's a lot of stuff in here that has to do with poop, vomit.
It's called
period.
scat.
Yeah, that nasty ass shit. So I've been kind of just fucking with people with this whole shit thing. So this dude today, let's see. I mean, we shot the shit for a minute, and then I said we and this was me and Chris both were like messaging him throughout the day. We're both logged into this Tinder account. And so I suggested that we do the Cincinnati bow tie. And he said, "What's that?" And I told him to look it up on Urban Dictionary. So he did. He said, "Yeah, that sounds fun." So for those of you that don't know, the Cincinnati bow tie is like a reverse titty fuck. Like the guy's titty fucking the girl, but he's like reverse cowgirl style. So his
He can
ball
lick his asshole.
yeah, I guess if you wanted to. But his ball sack is like across your neck, like a bow tie. And so they call that the Cincinnati bow tie. And I started with that one personally because it doesn't have anything to do with shit and it's not that bad. And so he said, "Yeah, that sounds like fun." And I asked him if he wanted to take it to the next level. And he said, yes. And I said, "Well, we started out in Cincinnati. Let's take it north to Boston. Let's do a Boston pancake." And he said, "Oh, damn, I'm in if you are." Do y'all know what a Boston pancake is?
Apparently he don't.
He don't. Let me find it in this book and read it to you. Okay,
CJ story time.
now I gotta find it. Fuck. Oh, okay, here we go.
Oh.
Page 18, Boston pancake. Okay, this is what this man just agreed to. He's 18 years old. He does not even know what he just agreed to.
Oh, what a
He
baby.
has no idea what a Boston pancake is. And he just was like blindly, "Yeah, let's do it." This is what a Boston pancake is. Just before climax, the man defecates on the woman's chest. For all you 18-year-olds out there, that means poop. He poops on her chest.
Yeah.
The man defecates on the woman's chest, patting down the fresh pile into a flat cake. He then proceeds to ejaculate onto the freshly pressed cake, mimicking a hot dash of syrup on a stack of buttermilks. This kid just agreed to do this. He don't even know what he's doing. So he's like, "Yeah, that sounds like fun." So I'm like, "Dude, I'm going to take it to even the next level. I'm going to fuck his world up." So,
The guy that was like, "I want somebody to fuck up my world." Oh no, that's the one you lost everything.
yes. Oh, dude, that was such a good thread. And I freaked him out so much with poop stuff that
Dirty
he
deleted.
unmatched me. And I'm old as fuck. I've been I've been with the same guy for like 7 years. Tinder wasn't even a thing the last time I was dating. Like, I don't know how Tinder works. This is my first experience with Tinder. So I didn't know that when they unmatch you, that the messages are gone. So
Yeah,
I
they
learned that
disappear
today
into the night like a ghost.
when I fucking lost the best thread ever. It was pure fucking gold, and I'm still fucking just, oh, it eats me up. Anyway, so he agrees to the Boston pancake. I said, wow, you know what it is and you're still down? He said, I just looked it up. It's weird as fuck. And I said, usually people get grossed out. I know it's not necessarily normal, but I mean, I like what I like. He said, it's preference, I suppose. So I said, so I take it you've never done it before. I've only done it like 5 or 6 times. It was kind of weird at first, but now it's like I can't get enough. He said, yeah, I've never done that. First time for everything, right? And then he asked me what else I'm into. That opens the door, and I bust through it like the Kool-Aid man. I said, well, if I didn't freak you out, I guess I can share some others that I like. The tip top of my list is the Alabama Hotpocket. That's like my holy grail of kink. And apparently it took him a minute to respond, so I guess he had to look it up.
Oh, for
Urban
sure.
Dictionary, which honestly I can't fault him, because if I didn't have this book, I'd fucking have to look it up too, because it's nasty. I don't do this shit. It's gross. So he said, that one's pretty kinky. I said, yeah, it is. And he's like, you like getting fucked after? And I was like, yep. And he said, nice. And
That's
so
the whole point, ain't it?
so if you don't know what an Alabama Hot Pocket is, it's basically a dude shits, like soft serve shits into a girl's vagina and then fucks it. It's disgusting.
That's
And
how you get infections.
I know, how do people, this isn't real.
It
People
can't
don't
be.
actually do this. I said, so then I'm just like, I'm fucking done. This kid's gonna agree to anything I say because he doesn't even know. So
Hey,
I'm
this must be that kid that I met up with in that trailer in Arkansas. Yeah, with the it was a possum in the ceiling. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got to be the same dude.
It's the same guy. I know it is. So I said, that one's kind of tricky because you pretty much have to know that your shit isn't going to be solid. So it helps if you start off with 2 or 3 bowls of 4-alarm chili and pop a couple of laxatives. And he said, oh, dang, that's some prep there. You got a snap?
Mm-hmm.
I just told you that I wanted you to shit into my vagina and you want a Snapchat? What is wrong with you?
He's thirsty. He's just trying to get his dick wet.
Done. I'm done. I told, like, obviously, you know, our husbands are in on this. They're helping us with these messages and how to fuck with these stupid kids. And I'm like, I was talking to Chris earlier. I was like, please don't ever leave me. I'll never fucking survive if this is how I'll have to date if you ever leave me. Like, just, I'll never survive. Like,
we
children.
did the internet dating thing back when it was still relatively fresh, and it seems like it was so much easier then.
It was. I mean, I can't tell you how many people I swiped left on today. Like, there's nothing good out there left. There's just not. It's gone.
Okay. Yeah, so here's the thing. She believes that there is no single people left in the world. We're going to conduct a poll. Okay. So here's something that we did. You know what? Actually, we'll save that for another episode because it doesn't go with this one, but it's a fucking great story and wait for that.
Yes, it is.
Yes. Anyways, I fucked with the Tinder guy a little bit. I don't have it pulled up, but I got really smoother than a fresh jar of Skippy with him this morning and threw him for a little bit of a loop, and then I tossed him over to CJ for her to finish him off.
Yeah, she's the one that started talking to him, and she started off with something about frog hair and how smooth his testicles were, and he made a crack about me like touching his testicles or something, and I just took it and ran, and somehow we ended up at 4-alarm chili, laxatives, and soft serve shits. I don't know really how it happened, but okay, so I have to, before I die, I have to get to some of these listener submissions.
Yes.
Because they're amazing. So this one, obviously, I'm not going to name any names on this, but this is someone that we've known for a long ass time, like 15 plus years. This is the first time I've heard this story, and I'm deceased. Like, I can't believe that she went this long without telling us this story. We're just now hearing about it. Okay. So she's like getting it on with this guy. They're fucking in the living room floor. Like I guess she's like on all fours, like with her arms on the couch, and he's like getting her from behind. And they were doing anal. And I guess he pulls out because he's done. And she said, I'm reading this word for word. 2 balls of hard poop fell out. So as it was happening, I flicked them. I flicked them under my couch because I was so embarrassed. Oh, she straight up just tossed the shit under the couch, like, bloop, it's gone.
Not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so I have a screenshot of this story that, okay, remember back during our little quick journal reading last week when I was talking about how I was just like completely consumed with this post that I had made on this group, and there was like 1,100 comments. Yeah, so this was one of the comments. So, and he actually screenshotted this story from like where he had written it in the notes on his phone. So I guess he's told this story so many times, he just has it screenshotted so he can just send it to people whenever he needs it. So he says, I did this girl after eating Taco Bell. She was on top and riding my pecker like a rodeo queen, and I'm doing everything I can just to not end the game then and there. So I'm squeezing all sorts of strange muscles and I didn't even know I had, while she's bouncing up and down like a kid on a pogo stick. And eventually the pressure buildup just got to be more than this sphincter was able to handle. I ripped the juiciest fart of all time, and luckily, because she had been queefing like a puppy's squeaky toy, she didn't notice it was me. When I feel something the consistency of warm chocolate pudding ooze its way between my butt cheeks, I knew right then and there I had to switch things up before things got real muddy. So I sat up real quick and pushed her over to the backside of the bed and used my feet to push the covers over the not-so-decadent chocolate surprise I left behind. Needless to say, I was a little less worried about sexual performance and a little more concerned with wiping the dribbles of turd off my ball sack. So the race to Frosted Mountain ended with me rolling her over head away from the door. I pull her and frost her back. Then I jump up and run for the bathroom real quick. She asks what's wrong, and I just say with a questioning tone, shower sex? Well, of course she was down, so before she gets to the bathroom, I wipe my ass and start the shower. And that's the story of how I shit the bed during sex, and she never even knew it happened.
Smooth.
I'm done. Of that post where I asked people to share their funniest sex story, I think that was top 5 at least. They're like, we'll save all of those posts for an episode down the road when we're going to talk about nothing but sex. But
actually, I think we're going to do a series on sex. So that'll be like probably 3 or 4 episodes. It'll be like a whole series because like she said, she had over 900 comments on that. And there's no way we can fit that into one episode. It'll be 3 hours long, and we know y'all ain't into that shit.
Yeah, it was 900 comments when we recorded last week. It has gotten more comments, so now it's like, I think, 1,150 something comments on this thing, and every one of them is telling a story. I mean, some of them are like, you know, just kind of lame, but there's a lot of them that are fucking hilarious. So, okay, and this is crazy. So our listener, we have a listener, Felicia, and she would like to know what makes a woman want to eat a man's ass. And I also, for the record, would like to know, because that just doesn't sound like anything that I would ever be into under any circumstances. So if any of our listeners out there have the answer to that, please let us know, because
I slipped a
I would
finger
definitely like
once.
to know. You did what?
I slipped a finger in once, but I've never like tossed a salad. I don't think I could do it.
Tossed a salad? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
I don't do
Okay.
anything with the ass. I just don't. It's nasty as fuck. I stay
We'll
away
put
from
that
that.
down.
Although I was one time, I won't name any names, but one time a guy that I was very seriously dating asked me to shave his asshole and then eat it. Guess what I said? Hell no.
No.
Ain't doing that shit.
Dude, I don't trust anybody to like shave anything of mine. I am not going to spread my ass cheeks and give you my most like intimate orifice for you to put a fucking blade in. Fuck that.
I know, like, show me where it's written that this is a good idea. It's just not.
Right.
I mean, I'm not shaving anybody's chocolate starfish. Like, sorry.
Okay, so just imagine this. Imagine having a child, this beautiful baby boy. You bring him home, you raise him. He is a valedictorian of his high school. He is the football star. And then later on, you hear that your baby boy has been asking some girl to shave his asshole and lick it. Where have you gone wrong?
Not just lick it, eat it.
Eat it like Sunday brunch.
He said, "Eat my ass." What?
Like, okay, so how do you
eat an ass?
That's what I was gonna say. How do you go from licking to eating? Like, what constitutes eating? Like, do you have to have teeth involved? Do you need utensils? Like, do I have to have condiments? Should I get out the mustard? How am I eating this? How is your ass prepared?
Be like, I hope you're ready, bitch.
Right. How do you prepare the ass for eating?
Like, they're just some things that you just weren't meant to do. And I'm sorry, but that's one of them. I'm sorry.
No, humans are not meant to eat assholes.
Oh, would you like to tell our listeners about our first hate mail that we received?
Oh, we did get hate mail, didn't we? I almost
It kind of turned, like, there at the end, it wasn't really hate mail because, like, he kind of backpedaled a little bit, but it was hate mail for a minute, I guess.
It started out as hate mail, and then I'm not gonna lie, I did kind of fan the flame because I got fucking confused. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. So I went on the offensive, and then when I finally figured out, oh, that's what he meant, it was still fucking stupid, and he was spending his Valentine's Day trolling a podcast with less than, 40 listeners. So who does
who's the real loser here? I really wanted to, like, find out where he worked and, like, send him a potato and be like, who's laughable now, bitch?
Exactly.
But he lists like 75 places of employment on his Facebook, so.
Okay, here we are. I found it. So I thought that maybe, just possibly, he had actually listened to the show. So that's why when he said, is this ad as dramatic as your podcast? I thought he meant the ad at the beginning of our podcast, which is an ad for Anchor, because that is who hosts our podcast. They're our hosting site. Shout out to Anchor, woot woot.
Shout out.
So I thought that is what he was talking about. And so I was like, which ad would that be? The one for Anchor? To answer your question, if drama is not your thing, we're not for you either. There are a ton of other podcasts, and we hope you find what you're looking for. Kill them with kindness, bitch.
Right.
And he just laugh reacted. And he said, you commented on a post asking what post you're commenting on. What the hell is Anchor? Another unrealistic podcast run by, and in all caps, you? LOL. I thought this was the one to end them all for some reason. So I finally figured out what the hell he was talking about. He meant the post that he had commented on was actually an ad that CJ had like boosted on Facebook. So it was showing up as an ad, not just a post. And I didn't realize that. I thought it was just one of our posts. So it was an ad. And so he was talking about the ad because the ad says the comedy podcast to end all comedy podcasts. We're effing awesome. Join us. So I guess that's what he was talking about with us being dramatic.
Oh,
But
and just for the record, I would have said we're fucking awesome, but apparently you can't swear in a
on
Facebook
ad,
ad. So,
you'll get zucked.
Facebook.
Yep, you'll get zucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when his last comment, my response was, Anchor is the platform that you listen to the podcast on, you obtuse 7-piece chicken McNobody. And he gave like a frowny face, and then
And
hit us up
fuck
with,
me.
5 or 6 memes that are like, you make me sad. All right, I'm going to go cry now. And then CJ responds with, I think he needs a potato. And he just goes, I love them. So I'm like, okay. And then I've got a sack I can show you. And then he's trying to get us to listen to his buddy Scott Wharton's podcast. So I guess if you want to go check that out, there's a free shout out for Scott Wharton. I don't know what the podcast is, but good
I've
luck.
not listened to it, so I can't like vouch. So if it's awesome, you can thank us. But if
Right.
it fucking sucks as bad as this guy, then we got nothing to do with it. It's not
Right.
us.
We warned you. Yeah, and so I asked, I was like, well, what's it called? We're always happy to support other podcasters. He is a stand-up, so apparently it's called This Is Not a Comedy Special. So I don't know what that was, but yeah, I'm just a man, I'm not a troll. So apparently that's what happened. We got into our first Facebook fight with a listener. Actually, not even a listener, just a internet troll.
Some random person. Well, I mean, and his Facebook just looks like fake.
Yeah.
His name sounds fake. I don't know. I think he's just a professional troll. Honestly,
Yeah.
I don't know.
There are people that literally do that. They just look.
Yeah, I don't know that he's actually a real person. So, but I mean, hey, that was $2 well spent, because that means that because we have nothing in common. Like, we don't have any mutual friends. Like, it shows that like this ad got to like people out there that have no connection to us. They just like matched our analytics, I guess. I mean, because I had specified like the kind of person that I was targeting. Because like
douchebag.
Right. I mean, rightly so, but obviously we're not targeting like the 65 plus demographic, like,
or the under 12.
or under 12. Like, we're probably not the right podcast for you, but I feel like 18 to maybe
18 to 50, maybe.
yeah, 45, 50, somewhere in there. People that are awesome, not people that like are miserable and hate their lives. So I just, it worked. It was $2 well spent.
Yes.
I feel good about the $2. So it's fine.
Whatever. Not going to lose any sleep at night.
No. So, I think that's about all that I have. I had a couple other things written down, but now that I'm looking at them, they really fall into the sex category. So I think I'm
Sex is nasty.
Yeah, like we got a lot of stories about sex and a lot of fucking other people's stories about sex. So I'm gonna keep those for our next little series that we go through.
Yeah, well, I've got one last out of nowhere. Well, when I'm thinking about my husband shitting in the kitchen floor, the second nastiest thing that has happened in this apartment, he had this stomach flu, and we were in the bathroom and just talking, and it seemed to hit out of nowhere. He just like projectile vomited all over the toilet. Like, okay, so he was aiming for the toilet, but he didn't actually make it.
Oh.
So he threw up on the back of the toilet, and then it just kind of like slid down. And it wasn't just like normal puke. It was literal chunks of chicken. Like, I think we had gone to Popeyes before. And so he had like basically just spit Popeye's chicken all over the back of this toilet. And he was like, I feel like death. I'm going to die. So he's like literally in the floor rolling around side to side while I'm cleaning up this disgusting. I mean, I am like gagging. I had to put a t-shirt, like wrap a t-shirt around my face to not smell it. It was, and I had those like, those cleaning gloves that go like all the way up your arm. Yeah. So I
Fucking
look
on a hazmat suit.
exactly. I look like a hazmat suit. It was ridiculous. So yeah, that was probably I don't know which one is more worse, cleaning up chicken chunks or shit in your kitchen. I don't know.
I
But
don't
boys are
know.
gross.
Those are both really bad, but yeah, dudes are just fucking nasty, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
live.
oh, breaking
Jamie,
news.
breaking news. Jamie sent me a message on Tinder.
Oh shit.
Oh, okay. So I have to preface this by saying on my profile picture, I guess you have like a little bio, like a little short tagline. And
Right.
so I wrote on there, if upside down pineapples mean something special to you, send me a message with a little winky face. Because we learned that we learned this while we were drunk at a wedding, by the way.
Yes.
Upside down pineapples are like the international symbol for swingers. Like
Just
that's how,
pineapples in general. Like if you've got a pineapple flag in your front yard, like a garden
is
flag,
it? I thought it was like specifically the upside down ones.
I've always heard that it's just pineapples. Like if you've got like a pineapple on your porch or a pineapple garden flag on your front yard, that meant your house was open for
Open to
swingers.
swingers. Oh, I don't know. I heard upside down, so that's what I put. And so this guy literally just now messaged me. I mean, I know what the upside down pineapple means, but I am not in the life.
I'm
So
kind of
fucking
curious.
message me. Don't waste my fucking time unless you want to get in bed with me and my husband. Don't waste my time.
So because
Obviously, that is not real. We don't do that. But for the purposes of fucking with people on Tinder, we do that.
okay, so since I didn't realize that you thought it was just the upside down pineapple thing, and I thought it was just all pineapple, I thought when I first read that tagline that you were talking about like shoving a pineapple upside down in someone's rectum. Because I knew how funky you were getting. Like, what kind of boy is she trying to attract? The ones that want pineapples in their assholes, I guess.
One with a really wide asshole.
Right? Pineapples are fucking huge. That's like giving birth.
What should I say to this guy? Like,
I don't know.
hey, I'm happy for you that you know what it means, but if you're not in life, then why?
Okay, I would just be like, okay, so we've established that you own a dictionary, but do you want to get your dick wet?
Okay.
Like,
So we've established that you
own a dictionary.
I am
Or
so
can read.
I'm too drunk to be doing
How about we've established that you can read?
that you can look something up on
There
Urban
you go.
Dictionary. Oh my, I cannot spell Urban Dictionary,
Oh,
but
but you have to spell dictionary with a CK because dick.
let me go back. Dictionary. But the real question is, do you want to get your dick wet? Not your duck. Do you want to get your duck wet? Autocorrect fails.
All the time. My duck loves to be wet.
So we've established that you can look something up on Urban Dictionary. But the real question is, do you want to get your dick wet? Send. All right.
All right. Well, we will
Next
follow up with that at a later date. That pretty much wraps up our nasty, disgusting show. So whatever you do, don't listen, don't watch, but kind of actually do.
Definitely
So-
do not have I guess we should have said this at the beginning, but don't have this episode playing at work. Do
Oh, yeah.
not have this
NSFW.
episode playing in your car when you're taking the kids to preschool. Like, dude, just fucking don't.
No, this is an 18 or 21 and over, not safe for work episode. I will preface that when I post it. But yes, check us out anywhere podcasts are heard. Check our YouTube channel out. That is taking off now. I don't think we have anything on the business end, really, any announcements or anything. What did you learn?
I know you told me earlier what I learned, but I can't remember.
All right. Well, CJ learned what tossing a salad is.
That's right. I did learn what tossing a salad is, and I learned that it's not just upside down pineapples. It's right side up pineapples too.
That's
Oh,
pineapple.
also, this dude that just messaged me, I have to read his bio to you. I use Tinder to find new music and pass time at work. How Tinder has music? Like,
Yeah, I don't.
is that a thing, or am I just out of touch, or what? Like,
Is it like MySpace, how it's been taken over by shitty bands?
Tinder. Oh, wait, it does have music. He has his anthem on here. We'll have to. Okay, hang on. So I use Tinder to find new music and pass time at work. Low key white trash. I look more miserable than I actually am, but don't get it twisted. I am ugly. My parents sold my race car bed 20 years ago and it still stings today. I will judge you for the following: favorite monster truck, your hot dog topping options, what your go-to gas station food is, and your opinion on music. And his anthem is Earthquake by Tyler the Creator. What the fuck is this?
No.
Dude,
Send him back to the park.
This
The
dude is
trailer.
27 years old.
Mm.
Unacceptable. 27.
All right. Well,
I'm done.
yeah. You'll get screenshots and updates on these Tinder ventures on Twitter or Instagram at a later date.
Yes.
I learned, since that was rudely interrupted,
Sorry.
I learned that CJ has a 19-year-old that wants to shit in her vagina.
Even I can't. What is wrong with y'all? What is wrong with y'all? They do need Jesus. Y'all all need a cleansing, I swear.
Okay, well, until next time, always say yes to adventures because they become stories, and in the end, that is all we are. Good night.
Peace.
This concludes our broadcast day. Good night, and God bless America.